Hello, I'm David Hester, and this is the final portion, uh, at least in the recording order, that I'm doing on my series called The History of Diets and the Body Mass Index. Okay? And I've gone over so much information, but I just kind of wanted to boil it all down into one question. Okay? Uh, Being, what are some things that you can do to become more fit? But first of all, I want to address about simply eating less. A lot of people think that if they just eat less, um, they're going to lose weight. Okay, and you'll lose weight, but there's so many problems with just eating less. Okay, for instance, your genetic programming will fight back when you severely restrict your food intake. Okay, so um, you know your genetic programming doesn't have any idea that there's a grocery store across the street, okay, or that you have a refrigerator in your house. It just thinks that there's a famine happening, and so your internal thermostat starts to work to protect you from starvation. Okay, so um, basically, severely eating less, severely restricting your diet will trigger your body's survival mechanisms. Okay, and so it'll lower your metabolic rate. You'll lose muscle tissue. You will be asked to slow down and in order to save energy. Your immune system is going to suffer. You'll be more susceptible to allergies and colds and flu and so forth. And just within a day or two, your body is going to sound this emergency alarm that you got to eat. So at this point, you're going to begin to crave and start binge eating everything that you see. Okay. And if you manage to make it through your crash diet, now you're going to lose your body weight, but half of the weight that you lose is going to be muscle. Now you need your muscle, okay? Because your muscle is your body's metabolic furnace. Okay, so when you add muscle, your body consumes more calories, and that's even when you're not exercising. And when you go off of this crash diet, which you eventually will, uh, you're going to gain back all of the fat that you've lost plus some. But you're going to have less muscle and more fat, and so you're going to gain weight more easily than when you started. Okay, so please don't just severely restrict your food intake. I mean, we're talking about a diet. We're not talking about starvation. Okay, so now on to the question: what are some things that you can do to become more physically fit? All right, and I guess the most important thing would be to eat more often. Okay, we should be eating 4 to 6 meals in a day. Okay, we should have a meal every 2 or 3 hours. All right, and this is important because it keeps your metabolism, running. Like a motor. Okay, so if you're just starting, eat at least 3 meals a day, and maybe some snacks. Okay, and these meals should consist of a fist-sized portion of proteins, of carbohydrates, and a thumb-sized portion of good fats. Okay, and there's a lot of reasons to eat more frequently, to eat more often. Okay, because it keeps your food alarm in check, it keeps your metabolic rate high. There's you have more energy. There's less hunger pangs. The food cravings are knocked out. It's easier on your digestion. Okay, and it fuels muscle in order to support fat loss. And this next one I want to tell you is one of the most important. Okay, is to drink plenty of water. We should have at least 8 to 10 cups of water a day. Now notice, I did not say soda. Okay, that is the absolute worst thing you could be putting in your body. Okay, knock out your soda consumption. Okay, now you can work up to at least 6 to 8, 8 to 10 cups a day, because you don't have to do it right away. If you're drinking very little water now, remember you're supposed to drink half of your body weight in ounces a day. So every time you pass a water fountain, get some water. When you wake up in the morning, get water. When you have lunch, have water. Before you go to bed, drink water. There's things you can do to drink more water. All right, and you're going to start to gain more energy if you are following the instructions that I've given. In all of these videos. And it's going to be because you have proper nutrition. Okay, so it's once you have more energy, go ahead and start adding exercise to your daily what's the word I want, routine. Okay, and because we were created to move. All right, and exercise is so helpful when you're talking about weight loss because it burns calories, it builds muscles, it helps us to control our appetite. Okay, and you've got to remember that muscle is your fat burning machine. So, we need cardiovascular exercises as well as resistance exercises. All right, and you're going to find that the more you exercise, the better your sleep is going to be at night. Okay, it's going to help you to reduce your stress. All right, now, there's so many things we could talk about. How about adequate rest? Okay, or controlling our stress. Because stress causes our body to release a hormone that's called cortisol. Okay, and that hormone helps us to store body fat, and we're trying to lose that, right? So, and then lack of sleep reduces our ability to deal with stress, and so it's just gonna mess everything up. So we've got to learn how to control stress. I think prayer and Bible reading and things of that nature help. Okay, and lastly, having a support system. Okay, I believe is really important. Start a group. Okay, and maybe a walking group or a weight loss group or go to the store together and shop group, okay? Because having a support system is going to be very beneficial to you. You can even solicit the support of your family. Well, thanks so much for listening to this series of videos on the history of diets and the body mass index. And stay tuned because there's a whole lot more soon to come. All right? God bless you, and shalom.